mantras of our Lord Sri Aurobindo. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, if Krishna be alone on one side and the armed and organized world with its hosts and its sharpener and its maxims on the other, yet prefer thy divine solitude. Care not if the world passes through thy body and its sharp nail tear thee to pieces, and its cavalry trample thy limbs into shapeless mire by the wayside. For the mind was always a simulacrum and the body a carcass. The spirit, liberated from his casings, ranges and triumphs. With always our love and blessing, says our Lord, Sri Aurobindo. Words of our Lord Sri Aurobindo, taken from the collective works of our Lord Sri Aurobindo, SABCL, book The Hour of God, topic The Hour of God, page 1. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, there are moments when the Spirit moves among men and the breath of the Lord is abroad upon the waters of our being. There are others when it retires and men are left to act in the strength or the weakness of their own egoism. The first are periods when even a little effort produces great results and changes destiny. The second are spaces of time when much labor goes to the making of a little result. It is true that the latter may prepare the former, maybe the little smoke of sacrifice going up to heaven, which calls down the rain of God's bounty. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, unhappy is the man or the nation which, when the divine moment arrives, is found sleeping or unprepared to use it, because the lamp has not been kept trimmed for the welcome, and the ears are sealed to the call. But thrice woe to them who are strong and ready, yet waste the force or misuse the moment. For them it is irreparable loss or a great destruction. In the hour of God, cleanse thy soul of all self-deceit and hypocrisy, and vain self-flattering, that thou mayst look straight into thy spirit and hear that which summons it. All insincerity of nature, once thy defense against the eye of the master and the light of the ideal, becomes now a gap in thy armor and invites the blow. Even if thou conquer for the moment, it is the worse for thee, for the blow shall come afterwards and cast thee down in the midst of thy triumph. But being pure, cast aside all fear, for the hour is often terrible, a fire and a whirlwind and a tempest, a treading of the winepress of the wrath of God. But he who can stand up in it on the truth of his purpose is he who shall stand. Even though he fall, he shall rise again. Even though he seem to pass on the wings of the wind, he shall return. Nor let worldly prudence whisper too closely in thy ear, for it is the hour of the unexpected, says our Lord Sri Aurobindo. Next subtopic, certitudes. In the deep there is a greater deep, in the heights a greater height. Sooner shall man arrive at the borders of infinity than at the fullness of his own being, for that being is infinity, is God. I aspire to infinite force, infinite knowledge, infinite bliss. Can I attain it? Yes, but the nature of infinity is that it has no end. Say not, therefore, that I shall attain it. I become it. So, only so can man attain God, by becoming God. But before attaining, he can enter into relations with Him. To enter into relations with God is yoga, the same supreme object and the noblest utility. There are relations within the compass of humanity we have developed. These are called prayers, worship, adoration, sacrifice, thought, faith, science, philosophy. There are other relations beyond our developed capacity, but within the compass of humanity we have yet to develop. Those are the relations that are attained by the various practices we usually called yoga. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says we may not know Him as God, we may know Him as nature, our higher self, infinity, some ineffable goal. It was so that Buddha approached him, so approaches him the Rigved Advaitin. He is accessible even to the atheist. To the materialist, he disguises himself in matter. For the nihilist, he waits ambushed in the bosom of annihilation. Next topic, on yoga, subtopic, the way. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, first be sure of the call and of thy soul's answer. For if the call is not true, nor the touch of God's powers or the voice of His messengers, but the lure of Thai yoga, the end of Thai endeavor will be a poor spiritual fiasco or else a deep disaster. And if not the soul's fervor, but only the mind's assent or interest replies to the divine summons, or only the lower life's desire clutches at some side attraction of the fruits of the yoga power or yoga pleasure, or only a transient emotion leaps like an unsteady flame moved by the intensity of the voice or its sweetness or grandeur, then too there can be little surety for thee in the difficult path of yoga. The outer instruments of mortal man have no force to carry him through the severe ardors of this spiritual journey and titanic inner battle, or to meet its terrible or obstinate ordeals, or nerve him to face and overcome its subtle and formidable dangers. Only his spirit's august and steadfast will and the quenchless fire of his soul's invincible order are sufficient for this difficult transformation and this high, improbable endeavor. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, imagine not the way is easy. The way is long, arduous, dangerous, difficult. At every step is an ambush, at every turn a pitfall. 1,000 seen or unseen enemies will start up against thee, terrible in subtlety against thy ignorance, formidable in power against thy weakness. And when with pain thou hast destroyed them, other thousands will surge up to take their place. Hell will vomit its hordes to oppose, and entering and wound and menace. Heaven will meet thee with its pitiless tests and its cold luminous denials. Thou shalt find thyself alone in thy anguish, the demons furious in thy path, the gods unwilling above thee. Ancient and powerful, cruel, unvanquished, and close and innumerable are the dark and dreadful powers that profit by the reign of night and ignorance, and would have no change and are hostile. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, aloof, slow to arrive, far off, and few and brief in their visits are the bright ones who are willing or permitted to succor. Each step forward is a battle. There are precipitous descents, there are unending ascensions, and ever higher peaks upon peaks to conquer. Each plateau climbed is but a stage on the way and reveals endless heights beyond it. Each victory, thou thinkest, the last triumphant struggle proves to be but the prelude to 100 fierce and perilous battles. But thou sayest, God's hand will be with me, and the Divine Mother near with her gracious smile of succor? And thou knowest not then that God's grace is more difficult to have or to keep than the nectar of the immortals or the Kuvera's priceless treasures? Ask of his chosen, and they will tell thee how often the Eternal has covered his face from them, how often he has withdrawn from them behind his mysterious veil, and they have found themselves alone in the grip of hell, solitary in the horror of darkness, naked and defenseless in the anguish of the battle. And if his presence is felt behind the veil, yet is it like the winter sun behind the clouds, and saves not from the rain and snow, and the calamitous storm, and the harsh wind, and the bitter cold, and the atmosphere of a sorrowful grey and dun weary dullness. Doubtless, the help is there even when it seems to be withdrawn. Doubtless, the help is still there when it seems to be withdrawn, but still is there the appearance of the total night with no sun to come, no star of hope to please in the darkness. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, beautiful is the face of the Divine Mother, but she too can be hard and terrible. Nay, then is immortality a plaything to be given lightly to a child? Or the divine life a prize without effort, or the crown for a weakling? Strive rightly, and thou shalt have trust, and thy trust shall in the end be justified. But the dread law of the way is there, and none can abrogate it, says our Lord Sri Aurobindo. Next subtopic, the web of yoga. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, to be one in all ways of thy being with that which is the highest, this is yoga. To be one in all ways of thy being with that which is the all, this is yoga. To be one in thy spirit and with thy understanding and thy heart and in all thy members with the God in humanity, this is yoga. To be one with all nature and all beings, this is yoga. All this is to be one with God in His transcendence and His cosmos and all that He has created in His being. Because from Him all is, and all is in Him, and He is all and in all, because His thy highest self, and thou art one with Him in thy spirit, and a portion of Him in thy soul, and at play with Him in thy nature. And because this world is a scene in His being, in which He is thy secret master and lover and friend, and the Lord and the sustainer of all thou art, therefore is oneness with Him the perfect way of thy being, says our Lord Sri Aurobindo. Next topic, Purna Yoga. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says the entire purpose of yoga, by integral yoga, we can rise out of falsehood into truth, out of weakness into force, out of pain and grief into bliss, out of bondage into freedom, out of death into immortality, out of darkness into light, out of confusion into purity, out of imperfection into perfection, out of self-division into unity, out of Maya into God. All other utilization of integral yoga is for special and fragmentary advantages, not always worth pursuing. Only that which aims at possessing the fullness of God is Purna Yoga. The sadhaka of the divine perfection is the Purna Yogan. Our aim must be to perfect as God in His being, and bliss is perfect, pure as He is pure, blissful as He is blissful, and when we are ourselves siddhas in Purna Yoga, to bring all mankind to the same divine perfection. It does not matter if for the present we fall short of our aim, so long as we give ourselves wholeheartedly to the attempt and by living constantly in it, and for it move forward even 2 inches upon the road, even that will help to lead humanity out of struggle and twilight in which it now dwells into the luminous joy which God intends for us. But whatever our immediate success, our unwavering aim must be to perform the whole journey, not lie down content in any wayside stage or imperfect resting place. All yoga which takes up entirely away from the world is a high but narrow specialization of the divine tapasya. God, in His perfection, embraces everything. We also must become all embracing. God, in His ultimate existence, beyond all manifestation and all knowledge, is the absolute Parabrahman in relation to the world. He is that which transcends all universal existence while regarding it or in turning away from it. He is that which contains and upholds the universe. He is that which becomes the universe, and He is the universe and everything which it contains. He is also absolute and supreme personality, playing in the universe and as the universe in the universe. In the universe, He appears to be its soul and Lord. As the universe, He appears to be the motion or the process of the will of the Lord and to become all the subjective and objective results of the motion. All the states of the Brahman, the transcendent, the continent, the universal, the individual are formed or informed and sustained by the Divine Personality. He is both the existent and the state of existence. We call the state of existence the impersonal Brahman, the existence as the personal Brahman. There is no difference between them except to the play of our consciousness, for every impersonal state depends upon a manifest or secret personality and can reveal the personality which it holds and wields, and every personality attaches to itself and can plunge itself into an impersonal existence. This they can do because personality and impersonality are merely different states of self consciousness in our absolute being. God has descended into the world in various forms, has consummated on this earth the mental and bodily form which we call humanity. He has manifested in the world through the play of all governing soul with its own formulative will or Shakti, a rhythm of existence of which matter is the lowest term and pure being the highest. Mind and life stand upon matter and make the lower half of the world existence. Pure consciousness, pure bliss proceed out of pure being, Chit and Ananda out of Sat, and make the upper half of world existence. Pure idea, Vijnana, stands as the link between these two. These 7 principles of terms of existence are the basis of the 7 worlds of Puranas: Satyaloka, Tapas, Jnana, Mahar, Swar, Bhuvar, and Bhur. To be continued.
Tout au fond de l'inconscience la plus dure, la plus rigide, la plus étroite, la plus suffocante, j'ai touché un ressort tout-puissant qui m'a projeté d'un seul coup dans une immensité sans forme et sans limite, où vibrent l'essence d'un monde nouveau. At the very bottom of the inconscience, most hard and rigid and narrow and stifling, I struck upon an almighty spring that cast me up forthwith into formless, limitless vast, vibrating with the seeds of a new world.